Welcome to another episode of Montana Shares. I'm your host, Bill Crane. Today I've got Matt with Friends of the Historical Museum at Fort Missoula. Welcome to the show, Matt.
Thanks for having me, Bill.
So the first question I'm asking everyone is kind of, how are you affected by COVID? What are you doing in relationship to it? Tell us how you're doing.
Sure. Well, I'll tell you, like a lot of nonprofits, it's been a struggle the past 6-7 months for our museum. We did close down in the spring when things first started. From there, we moved into attempting to reopen in June, and we lasted about 5 weeks. Unfortunately, with the case counts going up, we're really challenged here in that the galleries at the museum are fairly small galleries. The building we're in is a 1911 building with poor circulation. So it's been a real challenge with that. But on the plus side of that, as we moved into the summer months, we were able to open all of our outbuildings here on site. At the Historical Museum, we care for 32 acres and 22 different historic structures. So we were able to go ahead and open those. So we have continued to provide that service to the public and allowing them to tour the outbuildings. And there's a lot of interpretation about our history out there in Western Montana's history. Another thing we've done is we've moved forward with a lot of virtual and digital programming, which is something that, like a lot of your members, probably they weren't doing a whole lot of before March.
Right.
We've had to really move into that. We've started, daily posts on Facebook that are interactive, everything from a puzzle that people can do online every day to we've done several virtual events at this point. Right now, we're actually doing several around the issues of voting. We have an exhibit that opened in one of our galleries during the pandemic that was entitled Montana Votes, and we've hosted kind of a Montana Votes 101 with the local director of elections. We have a Montana Native Vote presentation coming up, so we're doing programming like that. And then finally, the other thing we've worked with is we partnered with our local partner, Missoula Community Access Television, and we've been trying to film the new exhibits as we install them, because as a museum, there's nothing more frustrating than putting the time and effort into this incredible exhibit that educates the public, but not allowing the public in to see it. So we've done virtual tours of all of our new exhibits here to try to continue to still engage the public and provide a service even when our doors have to stay shut.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think there's always a somewhat bright side, maybe not perfectly bright, but a bright side that your reach is probably extended significantly because of these. More so than just walking in. It's going to be able to affect the whole world.
You're correct about that. I know we've seen our likes on Facebook go up. We've in addition to the ones I mentioned, the staff and I have all had to learn how to communicate virtually. We did a series of Facebook Live events with all the staff taking part and providing content. And, we've been pleasantly surprised that the public seems to really enjoy that. It allows them to tune in when it's comfortable for them to do so or at a time that's convenient. And we're seeing a lot of views on some of those different videos, and it's been really positive. Again, like you pointed out, it doesn't just rely on folks walking in our front door. It allows us to have a national and even at times international reach for people all over the globe to be able to tune into some of the programming we offer here at the museum.
Great. So there's probably the challenge side of this thing is, how have your fundraisers been?
So it's like a lot of other groups, it's been challenging. Our biggest fundraisers are around large community gatherings. And those just aren't simply safe to do right now. I know we do a 4th of July celebration that usually draws 5,000 to 8,000 people here to Fort Missoula, but that wasn't safe to do this year. So we lost any revenue from that. Another big fundraiser, we participate as a vendor in the Western Montana Fair, and the fair was canceled this year. And then I think the one that was most challenging for myself and the staff was first week in November, we were scheduled to have our annual used book sale, which is one of my all-time favorite events that we do. From a 3-tiered approach. It's number one, it keeps books out of the dumpster and allows them to find new homes. Number two, it provides inexpensive books to our community, which Missoula is such a enthusiastic community about reading, and I think they look forward to this sale. And then, of course, the third component of that is it's an excellent fundraiser for our museum. So with those being our 3 big kind of fundraising type events that the Friends of the Historical Museum do, it's definitely been challenging not being able to hold those 3 in 2020.
Right. So just people could send you money. That's one way to help you out, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Have you looked at any alternatives for your fundraising methods? And
Sure. We have. So we're actually looking for the first time to try to sell some books online. We're going to do kind of a virtual book sale
Mhm.
which is not something we've tried before. My development director, Jesse, has done a great job as far as trying to pivot. We're going to have some, I think she calls them fireside chats this fall, where different staff members and board members will read from one of their favorite books, and or a book potentially that's available for sale on the website. So we're trying to find creative ways to bring in additional funds. Of course, there are still avenues out there for nonprofits, whether it be the CARES grants or, in our case, doing different, like our annual fund request ask and those kind of things. So we are
Mhm.
still able to do some of that fundraising, but it's still frustrating to us as an institution when, we really love being involved in the community and having the community come out to celebrate our history here at Fort Missoula, and we just can't safely do that right now.
Mhm. Understandable. Well, I'm glad you're pivoting and adapting to the changing times, and hopefully this will swing around to where it's more safe to be doing public gatherings again. Anything else you wanted to add before we wrap up?
I just thank you to you guys for your support with Montana Shares, and it's been great to be part of the program. And we're excited about moving forward in 2021, and I think everybody's excited. Hopefully, at some point next year, we can get back to our new normal and start to be able to provide more of these services to the community again.
Right. Okay, great. Well, thanks for being on the show today and continue your great work.
Thanks, Bill.